Watch an archive of history that scary photos like you've never seen before, from serial killers and strange events to gruesome human experiments. From the earliest days of photography in the mid-19th century to the most shocking photos being shared on social media today, history is full of true horror photos that are scarier than anything, even the scariest of horror movies. The photos collected in this article evoke various fears. Some of these images include crime scenes, horrific experiments on humans, supernatural phenomena, and even cannibalism. While most of these true horror images are very disturbing even at first glance, the story behind each of the photos can truly be anyone's nightmare. Stay with us. Dylan Poe's last photo before he disappeared. Dylan Poe disappeared on February 27, 2015. He told his parents that he wanted to go to the High Coast Steps, a beautiful place known as the Stairway to Heaven, an ideal for hiking and clubbing, but he was never seen again. But in the last photo that Dylan sent to his parents, a vague figure can be seen behind him, which is most likely his killer. However, this person is unrecognizable from the photo. Aside from the stories, some real horror photos don't need any additional information and can scare any viewer to the bone at the first glance. In this category, the scary mask of Edward Pinsel, the serial killer of the 1960s, nicknamed Jesse Devil, is placed, which requires courage to even look at the picture. During the 1960s, Edward Pinsel visited his neighbors on the island of Jersey in England. He would forcefully enter houses to torture and sexually abuse women and children before killing them. The fearsome killer did all of this while never taking off his incredibly terrifying mask and escape wristband. For a long time, this notorious killer continued his horrifying crime without his identity being revealed, until one day he ran a red light, and when patrol officers stopped his car, they noticed his mask and wristband in the trunk. Thus finally the nightmare of the people of Jersey is over. Another example of these scary photos is undoubtedly the photo of survived cannibal sellers in 1921. In one of these photos, we see a couple from Samara province selling human body parts in the winter of that year. In 1921, the Soviet Union was involved in a deadly famine that eventually killed nearly 5 million people, and countless people turned to eating human flesh to survive. In short, in today's video narration, you will see more frightening pictures than any nightmare you have ever had. Rasputin, a healing saint or a demonic being. Grigory Efimovich Rasputin, no way, was a mysterious monk who captivated everyone with his penetrating and hypnotic gaze. Rasputin's charm was so great that at one point Nicholas II, the Russian Tsar and the last emperor of the Romanov dynasty, and Alexandra Fedorova, the Russian queen, would not do anything without consulting him. But his influences in government affairs, from moving cabinet ministers to even giving opinions on war strategies, eventually cost him dearly. Members of the Romanov family, who could no longer tolerate this disruption of an illiterate Siberian peasant, decided to get rid of him forever. But unaware of this fact, that peasant once prophesied that by being killed by one of the Tsar's relatives, the scroll of the Romanovs will be entangled. Rasputin's death and the black nightmare that began. Rasputin's whole life is shrouded in a mystery. Some consider him a healing saint, while others consider him a demonic character. In addition to his mysterious life from a wandering monk and ascetic to an advisor to Russian Tsar, Rasputin even had an obscure and mysterious death. According to the history of Rasputin's killer, Felix Yusupov, the husband of the Tsar's aunt, and Dmitry Pavlovich, the Tsar's cousin, they fed Rasputin with cyanide, shot him at least 6 times, and even after all this, they crushed his head and face with an iron rod, and finally they drowned him in frozen water. Keep in mind that the car carrying his whole life body broke down several times, but later, when the body of Grisha, shot for Grigory, was taken out of the river in Street Petrobike, there was still water in his lungs, which showed that he was still alive when he has been drowned. The photo you see shows Rasputin's body after being pulled from the river. According to Edward Redzinkis, the famous historian of Russian history and Rasputin's biographer, the posture of Rasputin's hand is as if he is threatening the city and the sky. The threat was not empty and was implemented in less than a year, and the troubled Romanov family joined history forever. While there is still much disagreement about how Rasputin died, most historians agree that his assassination forever changed the course of human history. The famous ghost hunter and his equipment. Harry Price, a British paranormal researcher and occultist, was a well-known name in his day. In the 1930s and 1940s, few reports and articles about possessions, ghosts, and paranormal issues were published in newspapers and magazines without a reference to Price. Price himself was an excellent and prolific writer and journalist and wrote thousands of articles and several best-selling books. He had an incredible background in witchcraft. He was also an engineer, photographer, and numismatist, and he sat in countless meetings with various media of the world and explored many haunted places. He even founded a research institute that conducts scientific research on paranormal matters. This institution also has one of the largest libraries of occult sciences and magic, which is still used by researchers and students. In this photo taken in 1944, Price is seen in his busy library with some of his ghost hunting equipment. Edgen Heyman's skin gloves. Edgen, nicknamed the Plainfield Butcher, is a notorious murderer who is not only famous for his murders, but also for the strange thing he does his corpus. Edgen's fame in the 1960s was so great that even famous novels such as Psycho and The Silence of the Lambs, both of which later had brilliant films, verses were directly inspired by him. Edgen was apparently a shy man who visited graves in the village of Plainfield, Wisconsin at night. He took corpses that looked just like his mother home with him, and after slaughtering them, he made various household items. When these madnesses finally ended with his arrested in 1957, police officers found homemade items in his house, which at first glance were extremely skillfully made, such as a chest, gloves, belts, pants, soup bowls, and lampshades, among others. Edgen's horrifying collection of loot was later revealed to be made of human skin, bones, and skull. And which one of these photos do you think is more scary? And do you think it is the worst thing in the world that you can imagine? Write to comment for us. Thank you guys for your watching and for your time. Thank you. Like the video, please share the video with your friend if you like, and you can subscribe the channel and also activate the bell for notification when we upload a new video on the channel. Thank you again guys, take care of yourself, and here you are with the recommended movie and book for today. And don't forget, share your opinion about this movie and book for us in comments. Till the next video, goodbye.